Hey Wappers, Siam here. So you're all doing your WAP journey, you're getting a video every day, etc. Some of you may be quite far down in the video list, some of you may be quite early on, but around I guess video 200 or so, there's a little bit about recruiting, employment, and getting, building up a team, etc. But I just want to make a little video just to talk about something topical. So I took a screenshot of my Facebook feed and I've blanked out all of the personal details, and I saw this, and it says, I'm looking for a part-time marketing assistant, a student perhaps. Do you know anyone? And this is pretty much what 99% of employers or small business owners do. So I completely understand the student route because it's cheap, blah blah blah. Now I'm pretty darn sure what the likely course of action or what is going to happen as a result of this, okay? And let me run it through you, because I've been employing people for about 7 years, so not too long, but I've made every freaking mistake you can think of. This is what I went through for many years. So step 1, you put a post out on Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, in LinkedIn. You're looking for whatever. A few people comment and say may know someone, but nothing ever happens. You may get a few direct messages and it's, Aunt Doris's niece that's looking for a job, but Aunt Doris's niece is definitely not someone that you want, or or something like that. And yeah, always stay away from family members. 3, you may get lucky and you'll have a grand total of 2 people to interview. So yeah, your selection criteria isn't going to be that big a pool to pick from. 4, you then meet somewhere like Starbucks, and give a 30-minute interview because you run out of questions after a while, and then you're like, yep, cool. But the thing is, in this interview, you haven't really got down to the crux of it all, whether this person is someone that you've wanted. You've looked at their CV, you're nodding, oh, okay, yep. You're probably looking on the CV just to, maybe for one thing or 2 things. Are they somewhat relevant, and are they job hopping? But there's much more to it than that. You then hire the best out of those 2 candidates. The paperwork is then a faff because you don't have the proper employment contract, or you haven't done one before, so you then find a template online and then just tweak it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I did that for years. But yeah, what is quite handy though, what I would suggest is employing a proper employment HR professional to do your first round of contracts and employees handbook and all that sort of stuff. So that way you have something good, and then you can then control paste and edit things thereon once you've had some good advice. You then don't have any formal onboarding training or standard operating procedures, etc. So you're basically running a shit show and winging it day by day, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All entrepreneurs, all business owners are winging it every day. But the thing is, if you wing it when you're employing people, it's only going to cost you more time and money down the road, especially time. Having high staff churn is the biggest time vampire a director can have when building up a business. You'll go for years without having like a staff like ethos, culture, etc. And guess what? That person leaves after 1 to 6 months because they don't want to work for a shit show, basically. And so guess what? You then blame that shitty staff member for whatever reason, and you take no personal accountability of what just happened. So then you go back to square one. You start again, and guess what? You're gonna repeat everything. You're gonna repeat exactly the same things. So what is the solution? So the solution is again, you'll get to when we did the Name and Life workshop, etc. This is one of the slides about the recruiting. It's not in depth. So everything you just saw here is what most people do as the full, staff recruit or team building journey, and it's terribly flawed because in a nutshell, this is what you need. So first of all, you need the job spec. It needs to be honest. The job ad needs to be honest. You need to show all the flaws and what they're expecting. It's like being catfished on Tinder or something. You then need to filter them. So your job ad needs to filter people so you're not wasting time on people that you don't really need. You then need to interview them properly. You need to test them. I always have more filters and tests just to weed people out during the interview process. I don't even do one-to-one interviews to begin with. I have group interviews and group exercises, etc. You then need to hire them. You need to onboard them. Go through, just have all the right documentation so you have their bank details and all that sort of stuff. You then need to train them. You need to have some formal training. You can't just do 2 hours worth of training and go, right, that's it, right, let's do it, go. You then need to test them on the training. You then have to make sure they know what they're doing, because people will just nod and go, yep, yep, and then haven't got a clue. And then you blame them when they screw up. You then need to shadow them. You need to monitor them. You then need to review them every month, every quarter. If they are making mistakes, you need to find out why. Why? The WHY, that is like the most important thing. Don't just blame them for the mistake. Every time you have a mistake in business, it's simply a systems deficit. Why did they make that mistake? And the way you should be approaching that mistake is, what have you done wrong? What has the company done wrong? What have you not provided which has resulted in that staff member from screwing up? So 9 times out of 10, it is your fault. You just haven't done the correct training, or you've skipped out on the training, testing, shadowing and monitoring. That's why the errors happen. So what else can you place to make sure that doesn't happen? For me personally, I like getting pissed with the team. Well, you need a regular team piss-ups, so to speak. You then need to up-level them because people like progression. You then need to constantly review them, and constant reviewing and progression. So that is the whole process, and this is not just a one thing you do in a month. This is something you do all the time. When I showed this, people didn't know who this person was. So if you haven't seen it, watch the film Napoleon Dynamite. It's this guy. This guy is iconic. Gosh, idiot. Going back to this one, here is an example. I'm just going to show you the first few steps. So this person's looking for a marketing assistant, and guess what? I am as well. This bit here, job spec, job ad, okay? So there's a lot you need to, and I guess the filtering. So there's a lot that goes on in just the first 3 things before you put anything out. So I'm actually looking for a marketing apprentice, not just because it's cheap. I want someone to train up, and I need to create some weapons. I need some proper digital architects to be alongside me. So first of all, you need a landing page. So I guess if you look at bit.ly/digital hero apprentice, I think is what I called it. Made this landing page on ClickFunnels. So that's what I want. Little video of what we are. This is the role, basic. Yeah, so it's minimum wage. And the main reason being is that I'm going to be putting them through over 10 grand's worth of training. Here's the position, you can have a look through it, etc. Skills required, example of what they're going to be doing once training is completed, if they pass the training, because it's not an attendance thing. You need to pass the training. Just think about the military. When you go through the military, training is everything. Don't know why I do apply. So this is the job spec and the job ad. So going back to this bit here, we haven't even put the ad out yet. This is just the landing page. I'm gonna then put Facebook traffic through this and put it on maybe a few job boards, etc. But the filtering, the first level of filtering I have is here. So if you want to apply, you click, and then when Norfolk gets fast internet.
2,000 years later.
So yeah, this is nothing special. Yeah, you can make this fancy, but you don't really need to. So name, who they are, email address, you're not a robot, apply. But the thing is, what happens straight after that is in the CRM, we have a little workflow here. So what happens is they get a tag, so we're looking for a Digi Marketing Apprentice. They then get an email saying, thanks for applying, here's what to do next. And in a nutshell, they also get sent to a thank you page. But basically, I'm asking them to, basically send in a 1-minute selfie video. So here's a simple task. I'm trying to make things really random because in our business we do lots of random things. So for example, all I want them to do is simply grab a phone and just make a 1-minute selfie of why they'd be awesome for this company. Upload it to YouTube, make it unlisted so no one else can see it other than us. Email that to us or Vicky. Vicky's the boss in the office, and then 100% get back to you. And we only want go-getters, so you only have a day to do this. I mean, it should literally take 5 minutes. So what that is going to do, this little filtering step is going to eliminate 90% of the people that apply. And that's good. I don't want people that are going to kick up a fuss. Oh, this is... So I want people with good attitude. And by the way, this isn't like a... That is the only filter. We're not discriminating here. So anyone that complies with this gets an interview. So we're not we're not looking at what you look like, etc. This is just the action of doing this is the filter. We're not discriminating here. So everyone gets an interview. All of that effort, I wouldn't say effort's a bad word, is just this bit here. And there's so much more to do. So yeah, in the future we will be talking more about the rest of it, because this is not a 10-minute video that will go through all of this. But anyway, hope that makes sense. I think I've gone through everything. Yep, and I will chat with you soon. Enjoy the WAP.